It is the end of the year, which means here is every single physical Switch game I bought. I'm also going to be going through my digital catalog at the end, but I just want to talk about everything I bought this year on the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. I think I have everything. As you can see, there's quite a lot here, but I'm going to be going through all of them individually and talking about the box art, my quick experience. Now, I did talk about every single first-party game on the Nintendo Switch in another video. I ranked them all, so you can go check that out soon, or maybe now. It might even be out already. But I just kind of wanted to give everyone a quick update on the physical collection. And before you say anything, I know a lot of these games aren't exactly physical. You know, we got game key cards. We also got quite a bit of imports like survival kids here. And I'm just gonna be talking about all of them. We're gonna go over it, my quick experience with the game itself. And I'm actually gonna be quick this time. I find that sometimes I end up rambling too long about a game, but I think you guys like that. So I'm just gonna go easy with it. I'm just gonna talk. And we're gonna go through all the games individually as the year goes on. Now, I'm not just talking about Switch 2 games. We also got a couple of Switch 1 games. So that is something to remember. I also didn't buy every single game physical. Normally, if I had the option to, I would, but I got some developers sending me codes and all that stuff. So again, I'll say that all at the end, but let's get started. Let's get going through this. I think we should probably start off with the beginning of the year. Let's start with the Switch 1 games. The very beginning of the year, the very first game I think I bought was Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Now, once again, I did a full video talking about my experience with all these games, but I really have a nostalgic time with this one, I think. Not because of the Wii game or anything, but at this day, the same day this released was the day that the Switch 2 was announced. And as a Nintendo content creator, that was a big deal. I had already seen a little bit of rumors throughout the previous months, almost honestly the years. I had been so excited for the Switch 2 to get just revealed, and it just so happened to be revealed the day that this one released. So I'll always have a good time knowing that. Once again, I did a full video about me ranking all the first party games, so I'll leave you to go watch that after this. But let's look at the box art, because I like looking at box art. The Switch 1 case, you got the classic spine, Donkey Kong Country Returns, just with HD, sure, and the back, we get to see some local co-op, some fun local co-op. And now something you'll know about me as we go through this is that I love my inside box art. I love it so much. And we get to see the Donkey Kong Island. Okay, that was Donkey Kong for you. All right, let's keep having a look at these. Good game. Then we got Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now, I really like that they brought over the Wii U box art to the Switch. We can see the big difference here is that it says Definitive Edition. We get the basic spine, discover, fight. And I think that, once again, this was very similar to the Wii U box art. And it even includes some storylines and all that stuff. Once again, box art check. Oh yeah, came with this little bonus. This little bonus here. And then we got a look at the mechs on the inside of the box art here. Very cool. I gotta say, this was my first Xenoblade Chronicles game ever. I don't know if this was the best way to start playing the Xenoblade series. That's what I heard, that it wasn't. But anyways, it was my first Xenoblade game. I actually really enjoyed it for what it was. Again, I wasn't a huge fan of the Xenoblade franchise before I started playing, and I just gotta say, yeah, I enjoyed it. I never actually fully beat it, but for what it was and for how much I usually like these type of games, it's a good time. It has very interesting battling. I love how you can upgrade your characters and the mechs and all the upgrades. And there's also so much to do here. Oh, also the world is crazy. You can even just tell by the box art, there's a massive world in this game, and it's just really fun to explore and very impressive. Also the cutscenes. Honestly, good game. Let's keep going through this. Okay, so we're getting to some newer games, but I just want to finish the Switch 1 section here first. This didn't have a Switch 2 physical game, but it does have a Switch 2 edition. And let me just correct myself. It technically does actually have a Switch 2 box art, but you can only buy it in Europe or Japan. And even if I bought the Switch 2 box art for the game, if I imported it, it has a code. It's a code and box, even in other regions. So I just didn't find it to be worth it getting it physical somewhere else, especially because I don't know if the code would actually work on my Switch. So I just got the Switch 1 edition, and it has a free Switch 2 edition upgrade. I like the box art, it's cool. This is a Pac-Man game. It's a Metroidvania. It was about $40. I thought it was good for what it was, but not even a week later, we had Silksong release, and that just kind of blew it out of the water, and I really have no want to revisit this. I never beat it, but again, it's just so much worse than Silksong, and this isn't even a bad game, but that just shows how good Silksong actually is. But anyways, it was decent. decent. It's not bad. I like that they did the Switch 2 edition upgrade. Continuing the Switch 1 games, but released in October, is Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2. I really like these remakes. Whatever anyone says, like, yeah, you can have your own opinion, but I love that they redid some textures, that I'm actually able to play it permanently on the Nintendo Switch. If you bought the 3D All-Stars game, you might not want this or like this, but I actually never played the 3D All-Stars version of Galaxy, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I could revisit it fully on the Nintendo Switch 1 with this version, again with the enhanced textures, the higher resolution. And it's not available technically on the Switch 2. There's no Switch 2 edition, nor is there a physical Switch 2 case for this. But if you put it in your Switch 2, you can actually play it at 4K 60 frames per second instead of the 1080p on the Switch 1. So even on the Switch 2, there's an upgrade. It's free as well, which thank goodness, because these are expensive games. This is a full $70 for these two games. And you know, they're the best 3D platform, one of the best 3D platformers of all time. And these are both great games. I'm honestly surprised Nintendo didn't release them separately and charge $60 or $70 separately for that, because they reworked the textures. I mean, this is actually a pretty good deal when you consider what you're getting. And if you look at some games like even Donkey Kong Country Returns HD and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, this is a much better bang for your buck. Those other games were $60. This is $70 and it has 2 included. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. There's the back of the box art there. We get the classic Switch 1 spine, and the inside box art is actually really cool. I really like it. It's got Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2. I love the art style of both these games, but Mario Galaxy 2, though it's a little bit more cartoony, I really like how the colors pop quite a bit more. And yeah, again, these are just some of the best 3D platformers of all time. So solid. I like it. I actually think it's worth it for what it is. But I have a full video on my main channel about it. And again, I ranked all these first party games, so you can check that out after this as well. A quick speed run. I don't know if this one didn't come out in 2025. This one might have. I was going to do the survival, or I was going to play every horror game on the Switch 2, and I played this for my Five Nights at Freddy's video, and I was going to play this because I was going to play the scariest games, but I ended up just streaming it anyways. And yeah, I mean, here's a quick one. Here they are. Good games, no inside box art. Oh wait, yeah, this one does come. Poppy Playtime does come with inside box art and stickers, and oh, a reversible cover too. Very good. But I don't think a lot of people here probably care about these games. Although I do like the 3-in-1 packs, I will say. All right, let's keep... Oh, wait, one more thing I actually have to say about this game specifically. Poppy Playtime. They released a triple pack, and then Chapter 4 released like not long after this. So it was kind of confusing, like why wouldn't they just wait for Chapter 4? That was really odd. Anyways, let's keep going. My final Switch 1 game physically that I bought this year was Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Now, I've said to nauseum that this was one of the weirdest Switch releases ever, because this released before the Switch 2 edition released. So it was kind of odd. Sonic Racing Crossworlds came out at the exact same time all the other platforms released, like on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and then they released the Switch 1 edition, which, you know, that's fine. But it's really downgraded. It plays at 30 frames per second, the resolution was low, and what's weird is that they didn't release a Switch 2 version, even though this released in September, and yes, the Switch 2 was long out. It was only just this month, earlier this month that I'm shooting this, so December, that they actually released the game on Switch 2 as a Switch 2 edition. They had an upgrade pass that you could play, so now I can play the Switch 1 physical cartridge on the Switch 2 as a Switch 2 edition, finally now. This game also was half off for Black Friday, which is a classic Sonic thing. I almost never recommend anyone to buy these games unless they're a hardcore Sonic fan on day one, because they always go on sale very shortly after, especially around the holiday season. But anyways, Sonic Racing Crossworlds was one of the best racing games that released this year because there were so many. I actually like it content-wise a little bit more than Mario Kart World because of the content specifically. The racing I don't like as much as Mario Kart World, but I think it is a solid racer. And I also love the DLC. You got Minecraft, SpongeBob, and you know, Hatsune Miku, you can't go wrong with that. And even like the Monkey Ball people are coming in, as we can see up here with the DLC. And yeah, you can get a pre-order bonus item if you buy it physically, and it comes with all this stuff, but no inside box art. Anyways, solid game. I've talked about this game tons on my second channel here, so check those videos out after this. All right, moving on from Switch 1 games, we are now going to the Switch 2 era. And yeah, I have a lot of games. I have more games here than even launched in North America at the moment, I think, because I've imported some of these games. I also just have to say there are a few games that I'm wanting to buy still, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Specifically, the new SpongeBob game, Tides of the Titan, or Titan of the Tides, or whatever, and the Assassin's Creed game I'm also looking forward to getting physically. I just haven't yet, because as you can see, there's lots of games to place. So let's go through them one by one. I'll quickly fire them off, and we're just gonna take a look at it. So I already showed this off briefly at the beginning, but Madden 26, one of my biggest disappointments for games. It runs at 30 frames per second. I also don't love football. I watched football and learned football this year for like the very first time, and I understand it now, but I think as a video game, it just isn't that good. But I think my opinion on this is a little bit unpopular because I know lots of people who just love to play Madden. M Swizzle Max specifically is who I'm thinking of. He loves Madden. But anyways, I didn't love this game gameplay-wise. I think they could have done a little bit more to it, but I don't love football, so maybe that's my own fault. It's also a game keycard with 65 gigabytes full download. This is a massive game. I downloaded it on my Switch, played it for like 2 hours, and I uninstalled it because it's just too big. No inside box art, game keycard obviously, and let me just quickly talk about game keycards for a second. Yes, I know these are physical games, and you might already know my opinion on game keycards at this point, but my guys, the fact that I don't like Madden 26, I can go sell this and get my money back because it's a game keycard. I couldn't do this if I bought it digitally. That's almost like a safeguard for all these games keycards that I buy. I buy a lot, and I've returned a game that I didn't like before, specifically Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I played Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It was a game keycard. It was a full-blown $80 when the other platforms are half of that. By the way, $80 Canadian, which is $60 US. But like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero specifically on the Switch 2 was not worth the price that I paid for it. And game keycards allowed me to bring it back. We have GameStop here, which is technically called EB Games. And because I'm like a rewards member, if I don't like a game within 7 days, they can take it back and give me a full refund towards another game. And I buy lots of games, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that for this one. I'll rebuy it again when it's on sale, but I just did not find Dragon Ball Sparking Zero to be that enjoyable, and I thought it was a pretty lazy port overall. And I've made a video on that on this channel already, and you can check that out after this as well. There's a lot of videos for you to check out. I've talked about a lot of these games. So that being said, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is the one game I actually returned out of any of these, but that just proves why I like game keycards. Now, don't twist my words. I don't prefer game keycards. I just like that at least there's a physical option that I can resell if I wanted to. I don't love game keycards. I don't want game keycards to be the future or anything. And I am disappointed that they even exist and that there's such a negative connotation to it. But regardless, I had to talk about them, and that's my explanation for wanting to buy game key cards for some of these games if that's an option. Now, what I genuinely don't like, but makes sense for this one specifically, this is the most recent release in my bundle here, my little bundle of games, is Fortnite. Yay, I love Fortnite. As you probably know if you've watched my channel, it's my guilty pleasure game. I like Fortnite. They just released a holiday bundle here with the DLC, the Darkfire and Ice bundle. And if you know anything about physical games, they've actually released this before, but not on the Switch 1, as we can see here with these two Switch 2 games. Now, actually, this was the first physical version of Fortnite. It's actually still sealed. I found it somewhere sealed, and this was very rare. And same with this one. These are very rare, and they actually went for quite a bit of money online. It also has a sleeve. These were the two original bundles, I think, the first two physical versions of Fortnite that you could buy for the DLC. And I don't know if I even said this. I might have already said this, but I got this on the Xbox, which is why I already have it installed. And because Epic Games and Fortnite, you can use the same account across multiple platforms. So my Xbox version, which I actually have right here, I used, which is why this one is still sealed specifically. But anyways, regardless, these were both very rare versions of these games, and they re-released it on the Switch 2 and the Switch 1 and all current gen consoles, which makes me needing these, or the rarity of these, dead. And again, I don't know how many of you actually care about this, but it's kind of unfortunate that I could buy a physical game. I hunted for these games, and now it's just not rare anymore. This is the whole point of these cosmetics. But anyways, I think they just wanted something out for the Christmas season on current gen platforms, especially for people who actually missed those when they originally launched. Now, here's the silly, goofy thing, and I made a short about this on my main channel. I don't know if that short's up yet or not, but I actually, using the same account, downloaded this to see if it would give me like compensation V-Bucks because I already had it downloaded. And no, it didn't. It did give me the 1,000 V-Bucks that's included already, but it didn't give me any extras because I already had the cosmetics, which is really unfortunate because I pretty much just paid 25 bucks, 30 bucks for 1,000 V-Bucks, which is way overpriced. But anyways, I like these physical versions of Fortnite. I have them all, and yeah, they're just fun, and it gives me an excuse to buy V-Bucks, and I like having it physical, especially because I like Fortnite, but definitely not worth it for me, so buyers beware. However, if you like Fortnite, if you want to give this to a gift, these are probably my two favorite packs that they include. I really like the packs. So anyways, if I like Fortnite, also no inside box art. All right, and now Mario Kart World, one of the most vibrant, colorful Mario Kart box arts I've ever seen. And yeah, so here's the thing about this. I got this physically. I'm one of those guys, and at this point, like I've said, if you've watched my channel at all, you probably know my opinion on this game. So let's just do a box art check. I love how many little fellas there are on this. Mario Kart World, okay. Mario Kart World spine, very good. The back, yes. Oh, got the full game download too, and of course the inside box art. Now, okay, something that we should probably bring up that has to do with the box art is the fact that there's inside box art in these red cases now. The inside box art on you know, the regular Switch 1 cases, like, that looks good because it's a clear case. On the Switch 2 though, I'm finding that there's less and less inside box arts because, like, what's the point? Why does it even matter? But anyways, Mario Kart World, one of the best Mario Kart games there are. It has a lot of flaws content-wise. Also, the elephant in the room, it was $80 entire. That is crazy stuff. And Nintendo has not shared why they charge it for $80, aside from the fact that you're gonna be playing it for a long time, and because of that, they can charge you more for it, which is just goofy. It's just really silly and goofy. If they're gonna charge us this much for it, they gotta at least share how they're going to be supporting it in the future. And we just literally don't know, which is what's kind of frustrating about it here. And there's also just a lot of features about this game that we're missing, like the P-Switch tracker. Oh my goodness, I talk about this so often. But anyways, I think gameplay wise, it's really good. I love the tracks, not the intermission tracks as much, but the regular tracks, the mechanics, the wall jumping, the rail grinding, the jumping in general. I think it's a really good quality Mario Kart game. Very good. Oh, what game do I want to pick now? Let's do launch day games some more. All right, we got Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition. Now, I had this game on the Switch 1, but I really liked how this looked on the Switch 2. I don't have Breath of the Wild on Switch 2 physically. However, I think I really want it just to kind of add it to the collection. This is my collector brain, which is probably one of my most toxic traits, or at least one of the most budget unfriendly traits. But anyways, regardless, here's the box art for this. You already know how the game is. I don't need to over-explain it. The Switch 2 edition specifically is 4K 60 frames per second. We got the inside box art, very good. By the way, if you don't see a game in here, it's because it's in my carrying case. But 4K 60 frames per second, and it also uses this Zelda notes thing on your app to do this GPS thing so that you can 100% the game easier. You can also share builds and creations like that. And yeah, it's just a very solid Switch 2 edition and a fantastic game. And if you haven't played this before, highly recommend, highly recommend. And also this does work on the Switch 1, just saying. Here we go, let's keep going. Continuing with launch day, one of the biggest games of the franchise of the launch day, I guess you could say, especially one of the biggest third-party games. Not only is this a technical masterpiece, like how in the world is it running this well on a handheld system, but I mean, it's Cyberpunk. It's a very popular game. It's a Switch 2 game, of course, which is why I'm looking at it. I don't know why I really said that. But the big thing here, and the big marketing push that they even did back when they launched this game was the fact that it didn't have a game keycard. There's no game keycard, it's all on the cartridge. No inside box art, but we do get some stickers here. And Cyberpunk in general, I mean, I like Cyberpunk overall. I don't love some of the themes or the story that, like, I think it'd be really good if I actually gave it a go, but I don't love these more mature games, and this one's just really mature. It's a little too much for me to handle, to be honest, and I think if it didn't have that, I really would have enjoyed it a lot more. But I mean, look at this, like, that's just insane. I don't know, I think it's a good port for the Switch 2 in general, but not for me because of some of the themes. But I love that it's on the Switch 2. I love that it's not on the game keycard. Very good. I think this was a launch game as well. Guardians of Azuma. Once again, I didn't really play this game that much. This felt a little bit too much of a Switch 1 game. I actually bought it used not long after it released, and it was like much cheaper doing it that way. I saved like 20 bucks. I love how much it comes with. It's got a little manual inside. It's got some inside box art, and it's not a game key card. It's a Switch 2 edition. You can actually throw this into the Switch 1 and play it on the Switch 1. So, hey, I like the physical game of it. I understand why people enjoy this game. It just wasn't for me. I thought it was a little too odd, to be honest. But anyways, let's keep going. Launch day, we got Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now, this is a game key card and probably one of the weirdest Switch 2 editions of a game yet, because technically this isn't a Switch 2 edition, it's just a full game. So here's what I mean by this. They released a Switch 1 version of this game and they released a Switch 2 edition of this game separately, of course, because this released last year at the end of the year and this just released at the launch of the Switch 2 in June. But what's very odd is that they're both day one editions, first of all. Like, that's weird. But unlike most, if not every game that has released on the Switch 1, including Sonic Cross Worlds, which did it properly, this one doesn't have an upgrade path. So if I had this game, which, yeah, I mean, obviously I do, I can't pay any extra money to get this version of the game. I have to pay for the full game twice if I want to play it on the Switch 2. And you know what? The game itself is really good. Probably my favorite Sonic game. The Shadow Generations part specifically is a lot of fun. The classic Sonic Generations game is a classic, holds up still to this day. It is a game key card, whatever. And graphically, this looks very impressive. There's a performance and graphics mode. You can play it in 4K. You can play it in 1080p at 60 frames per second. Very solid. I like the game itself. If you don't have it on Switch 1, then it's definitely worth picking up, especially because it's on sale and goes on sale often. But yeah, it's a really good game. I like it a lot. One of my favorite Sonic games for sure. Just an odd release. Continuing with launch day, we got Street Fighter 6 Years 1 through 2. So this was also a very odd release. We had the amiibo that released alongside it. I've done many videos on those. $40 amiibo, kind of crazy. And also all the amiibo cards, what the heck is going on with this? Anyways, I really like Street Fighter 6. I'm not a big Street Fighter guy. I use the modern controls. I liked the story mode, and I think it runs very well on the Switch 2. I hope I downloaded that. Oh my goodness, wait. There's an inside box art to this as well. Dang, I didn't even notice. So yeah, it's a cool game. Very good Switch 2 update. I think it's kind of weird that the story mode runs in only 30 frames per second, but aesthetically it looks pretty cool. Anyways, solid game. And I'm gonna say solid game for a lot of these games. Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. In fact, I'm not a Harry Potter fan at all, but this is one of the best performing Switch 2 versions of the game and a huge step up from the Switch 1 version. I find it very interesting, this game just in general. Like, I think it looks really fun and I totally get the appeal. There is a lot of drama surrounding the Harry Potter franchise in general. And again, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. In fact, like I said, I'm not a Harry Potter fan like at all, but I picked it up. I never ended up playing it, unfortunately. And I kind of regret not at least trying it out a little bit. I played it at the Switch 2 experience that what happened in April. Or wait, no, I didn't even play it. My friend played it and I watched the footage of him playing it. So yeah, I guess I've never actually played this. I know it's a huge upgrade graphically and performance-wise from the Switch 1 edition, so I can't speak much to the game itself, but I mean, here it is. Oh, one really annoying thing is that this game, at the time of recording this, is $5 on the eShop or something like that. It's really low. You could buy this game so cheap, and I bought it for like 60 bucks on launch day. Anyways, whatever. Hogwarts Legacy, I'm glad it's here for the enhanced Switch 2, and maybe one of these days I'll actually try it out. It's downloaded on my Switch. Like, the case is open. It's just not, I just haven't played it. And you might find that I'm gonna do that for a couple of games. Like specifically with Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. I bought this game and I got a little bit of an interesting story with this one. So let me talk about that now. I actually had a sponsorship opportunity with them on my main channel. I talked about this game in a integration, and then they offered to do a full dedicated video on it, which, you know, sounds great. And you know what? It was great. It was good working with them. I had a really good experience talking to them and trying to sort out a deal that works for all of us. But anyways, I ended up getting it digitally anyways. So I just have this physical version. That's why it's sealed. I was considering bringing it back, but I like it in the collection. And you know what? I thought it was just worth keeping it because they sponsored a video. I'll buy the game. But the crazy thing is they sent me the game because they asked me to do a full dedicated video on the game. And I initially actually agreed to it. I wanted to do it. But then I found, based on some of the themes, because it was rated M, that it might not have been for my audience. It might not have been the right fit. So unfortunately, I just said, sorry, I don't know if this is gonna be right for my channel. at this current time. That was a very hard decision to make, but you know what? I don't want to promote things that are for a little bit of an older audience, especially if I have younger people watching. So that was something I dealt with. And I worked a little bit from Sega since, but unfortunately they don't want to, we haven't actually closed a deal. We've talked, but we never actually closed a deal. I really wanted to do some stuff with Sonic Cross Worlds because I saw a lot of other people doing it, and they said that they might, but I think unfortunately, because I declined the offer in the middle of it, I kind of left a sour taste in their mouth. But anyways, I don't know if I'm supposed to share that or not, but I thought it was a very interesting story, and that's something I think of with Yakuza 0, how I damaged my reputation with Sega. But anyways, I've never played it. Oh no, I did play it. I've turned it on. But again, a little bit more mature themes. If you know anything about me and Cyberpunk as well, that's just my opinion on this game. So that's all. Continuing with the launch day feast, we got Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. I played this a little bit. It is Puyo Puyo Tetris, and it's the second one. It has Sonic in it. I know that. I don't really know if there's much to talk about with this one, but it's a game key card if that matters to you. I bought it from Best Buy. No inside box art. Let's move on. I think this is our last day one game. Bravely Default Flying Fairy. This has some pretty cool Switch 2 perks to it. There's like some mini games that you can play with the mouse mode because it was a 3DS game, now upscaled to the Switch 2. Although it feels pretty bad on the Switch 2, I'm not gonna be honest. There's like there's like randomly upscaled textures that I just don't think fit that well. It never interested me. The side spine is good. The main box art is okay, and the back is also good. I totally get why people like this. I just had so many games to play when the Switch 2 launched that I really didn't want to prioritize this one, to be honest. Inside box art though is pretty epic, not gonna lie. But it is also a game key card with 11 gigabytes, whatever. Okay, I think that's technically all of the launch day games. Oh, actually, we got two more. Split Fiction, haha. This one sucks. No, I'm just kidding. It's a really good game, but what does suck is that it's a full game download. This is really odd to me why there's a full game download, and kind of annoying, especially considering like we have game key cards. They don't have to be on the cartridge. You can download them anyways. They really just added a code. Oh man, this game itself is really good. Storytelling is fantastic. Music is amazing. It's quite an experience with a friend or a sibling or a partner if you want to play it with someone. And it's just, yeah, it's a good experience. Really fun game. The biggest issue with this is that it's a codem box, because if you wanted to sell it or whatever, you couldn't. Not that I'm going to. It's just one thing. It's just like, okay, we have game key cards. We have game key cards. We don't have to do game and codem game boxes anymore. Oh my goodness. Codem box games anymore. There we go. But solid. I guess if I was gonna buy it anyway, at least now I have a plastic case to add to my collection, which, you know what? If they're gonna do it, I'll still buy it physically. I don't condone it, but I'm gonna do it so I can talk about it here. And this one's actually the last launch day game, and that is Hitman. This is another game that I downloaded with the game key card and I just never turned on, which is unfortunate because I don't think I would have really played this. I probably just shouldn't have bought it in the first place. It's a full $60, and as you can tell, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. It's rated M. It's literally about, finding people and ending them. So can you tell why I don't like it that much? That's just me personally. I regret opening it so that I couldn't return it, but I don't know. It's just it's a living and learning experience, I guess. Let's move on. I say we should take a look at the imported games really quickly as well. These are games that weren't released in North America at all, and I imported them from Play Asia. These are all Japanese versions of the games. There are some either European versions of the games that are all in English, or you can also get like just a standard release or something like that. It's like a Japanese release, but it's all English and it doesn't have the Japanese rating thing on the bottom like they all do here. But anyways, I just decided to go all Japanese. They were the cheapest when I was importing them, and they were the only ones available at the time, probably. So anyways, Survival Kids, let's go through that first. Survival Kids, decent game. It's a game key card. You can install it. Even though it's Japanese, you can still put it in your Switch and it'll work just fine. I played this single player, but it's clearly meant for more than one person. And I think it would be fun for the little play session that you had with other people. My experience with it personally is that it was just fine. It was just good. I understood it. I get why it would be fun. Oh, this is a launch game, actually. That's right. This is a launch game. Anyways, No inside box art. What I find really interesting about Japanese games, or really any imported games, actually I think just Japanese games, is that the side of the case is a little bit different than a North American release. As we can see with a North American release on the right here with Fortnite, you get like an actual grip. And on Japanese releases, there's like just a lining on the side that you can grab. I honestly think I like the Japanese ones better because you can open it from anywhere on the case, and it just, yeah. Anyways, moving on, Wild Hearts S. I started playing this. I genuinely did not like it whatsoever. It was like kind of like Monster Hunter, but worse. I don't know, it didn't hit me that well. I might retry it at some point. The Switch 2 version has a couple of interesting stuff to it. Here's a free code if you want it. No, whatever, I don't want it. But anyways, yeah, Monster Hunter, or not Monster Hunter, Wild Hearts S. One of the dumbest ones I got, Tamagotchi Plaza, the Switch 2 edition. They released this game. There wasn't a physical version here in North America, so I wanted to just, if I was gonna buy it anyways, it might as well be physical. There's inside box art too, which is goated. This game is for children. I don't like it because it is for children, but it's there's quite a bit of value here from what I played. And I did play it for like an hour. And then Path of the Goddess. This is like an RTS. It's like a real-time strategy game similar to Pikmin. There's like day and night cycles. At night you fight a bunch of people. During the day you kind of help out your village or whatever. It's a game key card. It's pretty decent. I like the game, but I think it looks pretty bad on the Switch. Inside box art, which is goated. Again, I don't know what this is, but if you want it, you can take it. There you go. But if I was gonna play it, I was gonna import it. So there you go. Those are my imported games. Now let's get back to reality. FIFA 26, similar experience to what I had with Madden. I thought the port and the overall quality of this was pretty lacking. It's only 30 frames per second, and yes, it does look a lot better than the Switch version looked, but it is not good. Should not have been the price it was. Also, I paid full price for this. A full $70 for this on launch, and like a month later that went on sale, like half off. And then for Black Friday, it went even more on sale, and it just stayed at like 30 bucks or something. So never buy these sports games on launch day. I hope I got my money's worth talking about it at this point because I've just flamed them so often and so much. But anyways, FC 26, I do like soccer. Gameplay wise, it's not bad. I just think that the port was pretty lacking. A port that wasn't lacking was Star Wars Outlaws Gold Edition. This launched at 60 bucks, which is actually was the cheapest way to get the Gold Edition at the time. This is also a very unique game because it's a current gen console port and not like the past gen. So this game didn't release on PS4 and Xbox One. It was only on PS5 and Series X and PC. And they were able to get it running on the Switch 2. And I gotta say, it is a very impressive port. Like for example, the frame rate is locked at 30. Yes, it's 30, but at least it's locked. It uses dynamic resolution scaling. It's got all the DLC on it as well. I really liked the story. I think visually it was stunning. And if you like Star Wars, you're probably gonna like this. No inside box art though. But yeah, it was a good one. I really like it. Oh, very weird pre-order bonus though. You had to like log into your Ubisoft account. Anyways, very cool. I like it. I'm glad they did this. Let's jump back to Nintendo games. We got Donkey Kong Bonanza. Whew! Look at that box art, it's so good! Oh my goodness, you got like the blue and the pink, which I guess was supposed to be a reference to the original Donkey Kong. We got Pauline, and something really interesting about the box art is that for the first little while when they first announced this, they gave us a fake box art. They gave it to all stores and everything, where it didn't have Pauline on it. And then like a month before the game actually released, they added the box art with Pauline. They did the same thing with Tropical Freeze and Cranky Kong actually. Before they announced Cranky Kong, they gave everyone like a fake box art that wasn't like the full thing. So I just find that interesting that they did that twice for a Donkey Kong game specifically. It shows the gold he's punching. He's got such nice hair in this game. Ooh, inside box art. I love it. It's like that. It's that picture of Donkey Kong and Pauline sitting on a rock, looking out at the sun, and Pauline's just chilling with Donkey Kong. Oh, it's such a nice box art. And gameplay wise, this is a phenomenal 3D platformer. This obviously is the Mario Odyssey, you could say. It is a fantastic 3D platformer. You break stuff. The story is amazing. The way that you get collectibles and upgrade your character with the collectibles. It's just a really fantastic game. A must buy on the Switch 2. And hey, not a game key card. Let's go. Then we got Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 edition plus Jamboree TV. Honestly, could you make the title a little bit longer, please? This is probably the worst Switch 2 edition yet. It doesn't actually upgrade anything about Super Mario Party Jamboree. It even says Nintendo Switch 2 edition, but it really isn't a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. It's just a game that you can play. Most of it, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition specifically, comes to Jamboree TV. You get a little bit higher of a frame rate, but most importantly, you get some Switch 2 specific mini games like with the camera, the microphone, the mouse mode, and there's some good mini games in there, but they're not very, I don't know, they're not that crazy. I probably wouldn't have needed this. I don't think anybody really needs this, but I mean, if you really like Mario Party Jamboree, getting the extra bonus is good. If you have a Switch 2 and you don't have Mario Party Jamboree, you might as well. But for 20 bucks, it's probably the weakest Switch 2 edition yet. The spine's good though. I like the spine. I also played this online with C.com and some other guys, and this was a pretty bad online experience too. Same inside box art, nothing crazy, but the online experience, yeah, that was rough. Super delayed, which was horrible for mouse mode specifically. All right, let's keep going. Pac-Man World Repack 2. It's a fine game. It's one of the cheapest 3D platformers on the market, and it's a decent platformer at that. I don't really have much to say about it. It looks really good on the Switch 2. There's also some Sonic DLC releasing for it, I think later this month, maybe in 2026 at some point. But anyways, game keycard. Oh, one thing I find really interesting is the side of the game, the spine. It's got the classic Switch 1 spine. Like, no, I don't want that anymore. And Bandai Namco, which published this, also did the same thing with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. They just added the classic red spine, which just looks so much worse next to all the other Switch 2 games. I don't know what to tell you, but anyways, game itself, not bad. Game keycard, you know the drill. Chronos: The New Dawn. I heard a lot of interesting things about this game. I find it very interesting. I think I'm gonna play this during my holiday break that I'm gonna take. And yeah, it looks like a little spooky horror game. Once again, I bought this when I was going to do the scariest games on Nintendo Switch video, but since I scrapped that video idea, now I just have this and I'm gonna just play it in my free time. Digital, it's a Kodan game card. No, it's a game key card. 25 gigabyte download. Comes with some stickers, okay, and an inside box art. Once again, I like when they do that. The physical version released a little bit later than the digital version, which is always annoying when that happens, but it's fine. I waited to play it anyways. I've waited this long. And Chronos: The New Dawn, everyone. I think we only have Nintendo games so far, so I'll blast through them because, again, I've ranked all of these separately, so you already know my opinion on these games. But Kirby and the Forgotten Land, probably my favorite Switch 1 game there is. And then Star-Crossed World DLC, fantastic DLC. And with the visual upgrade, definitely worth the extra $20 to upgrade it. I probably wouldn't buy the full game again like I did because, once again, my collector brain is crippling me. But I was able to give the first copy to my brother, and he played that and did that. So, I mean, it's fine. It worked out in the end, didn't it? Inside box art. Okay, they learned some lessons. They might have seen my video on this when I did a video almost back in the day. They probably didn't, but let me just show you what I'm talking about because I find it very interesting. Okay, so here's the case for Kirby and the Forgotten Land on the Switch 1. You open it up, horrible box art on the inside. Like, the case is fine, the picture's fine, but the black bars, like, what the heck is that? You can see my greasy fingerprints looking at it and touching it. So, this is like the one game that Nintendo's like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna change the inside box art. They made it a lot better. Anyways, so that's a good time. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I like the box art. Oh, it's one other thing that I've talked about with all these Switch 2 editions that I didn't even mention yet. There's like this, I don't know, there's like this label on the bottom. Like the Switch 1 version, even like, look at this, comparing them. It's so much cleaner on the Switch 1. But anyways, box art on Metroid Prime 4 is good. I talked about this when I ranked it. Metroid Prime 4 isn't the game for me. I don't love it. I get why people like it. I think one of my biggest complaints is that Samus doesn't talk. Inside box art, cool, it's got Samus. All right, let's keep going. Kirby Air Riders. Oh, I love this box art so much. Kirby is such an epic guy. It's got Waddle Dee throwing a spear at Meta Knight. I honestly didn't even realize that Meta Knight was there for the longest time. Also, where's King DDD? You got the 3 guys. Where's the 4th one? Anyways, really good game. It's a classic. This is like giving me Smash Bros. Box art vibes. Inside box art, very epic and good. I've noticed that Nintendo started to do the Nintendo Switch Online pamphlets whenever you open up a game like this. I really liked this game. Nintendo did send me a digital code for it for my review on the main channel, but I bought the physical copy so I could have it in my collection, and my brother got to play it as well. And yeah, this is a good game. Spoiler alert, it may or may not be game of the year, so watch my ranking video after this. Similar story with Metroid Prime. I don't know why I said Metroid Prime. Pokemon Legends Z8. Nintendo did send me a copy of this game as well. but I got it physically anyways. I lent it to my brother, blah, 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 blah. This game is definitely underbaked for what it is. I find it kind of annoying that we're still getting these kind of bad, underbaked Pokemon titles, especially when it's one of the biggest franchises ever. I did a main review on this, and you can, oh my goodness, I'm saying check this out after, but seriously, you just should. The best part about this game was the battling, and I think the overall graphics, especially compared to Arceus, like the graphics and the catching specifically, it just wasn't as good. Actually, you know what? The graphics were obviously a lot better on the Switch 2 edition, but I guess the aesthetic is a little bit worse. Nintendo also sent me the DLC for this as well, so maybe I'll check that out. But yeah, thank you to Nintendo for sending me both Kirby Air Riders and Pokemon as well. It's goated. And last but not least, probably my biggest disappointment, not because of the game, but because of the box art. No, the box art's fine. It is fine. It's not the most flashy box art you could find or come up with. It's kind of lame when it comes to the picture. I think they could have definitely done quite a bit more in terms of the box art. On the back, it's fine. The worst one though, it's the only Nintendo game on the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, I think the only one of the only Nintendo first-party games that doesn't have an inside box art. So that was an odd surprise, I will say so myself. But it was a good game. It is a good game, what can I say? All right, now let's look at some of these digital games. I'm gonna be really quick. We're gonna go into my folder of all the games, and we'll just breeze past some of them. Secret of the Mimic, Five Nights at Freddy's. That's not a Switch 2 game, but I just bought it. I just did a full video where I talk about every single Five Nights at Freddy's game on the Switch 2, and then they shadow dropped this like 2 weeks later. Now my video is dated, so I'm probably gonna do a Switch 2 video or review on Secret of the Mimic, but that was so disappointing. It's so annoying. Anyways, Skate Story. I also did a full video on this on my second channel here. Really fantastic game. It's like a skateboard game with a story, and I think the mechanics and the overall gameplay of it was just really addicting and fun. I didn't love the story, but I think it's a really good gameplay wise. Oh, Dead by Daylight. I have the physical version of Dead by Daylight 2 for the Five Nights at Freddy's video, so I did that as well. Then we got Sonic Cross Worlds Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I showed you that. Squirrel with a Gun. Are you friggin' kidding me? Why? Why is this a thing? Anyways, I did download it and play it for quite a bit. I did a short on it as well, and it was like, this is definitely the dumbest game on the Switch 2, but the thing is, I bought this on Steam years ago as well, and yeah, Squirrel with a Gun on Switch 2, I think this version specifically looks pretty awful. They try to hit 60 frames per second, they don't really hit it, and the resolution's pretty low. Farming Simulator Signature Edition. This is a full-blown $60, but they sent it to me early because they wanted me to do a review, and I do have a full main channel review on it on the main channel. So check that out as well. They sponsored a video there, and that was awesome. I had a lot of fun making that video. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. That one just released. It kind of just shadow dropped out of nowhere. I'm fortunate to say they did send me a code for this as well. Just being honest, that's what they did. So yeah, just know I'm super grateful for all the codes that these companies are sending me. I really couldn't do it without you guys all watching, and I really appreciate it. And I think that this is just such a really cool opportunity and career that I've seen myself do. So yeah, thank you for all of that. And I'm honestly so blessed. That's great. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. That's I already talked about that one. All my physical games. Titans of the Tides demo. Play that if you are curious about the game. Let's see, what other games do we got going on here? I played all the Five Nights at Freddy's games, as you can see. Little Nightmares 3. I tried out Garden of Banban for the first time. A lot of these are these horror games that I was going to test out. Trying to see if there's any other. Oh yes, Drag X Drive. That was a good game. Had my fun with it. I talked about it in my ranking every mainline Nintendo game as well. Let's see what else we got here. Lego Voyagers. They also sent me a code for this. I haven't really played it that much or at all actually. I'd like to play it with my wife. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I appreciate them sending it over. Hollow Knight Silk Song. This is a fantastic Metroidvania, and for only $20, this is a must-buy if you're at all interested in it. Okay, let's see, what else do we got? Because I wanted to get into Hollow Knight Silk Song, I did end up buying the original Hollow Knight as well. A good game. Dear Me I Was. This was a random game that Nintendo dropped out of nowhere, made by the same people that did what was it? I don't even remember what it's called, but it was like it's a 45-minute story-based game. It's kind of sad. Apex Legends has a Switch 2 edition now. I think that's good from what I hear. No Man's Sky Switch 2 edition, they sponsored a video, and yeah, I think No Man's Sky is pretty good, especially now on the Switch 2. You can go check out that video on my main channel as well. Elliot's or Adventures of Elliot, that was a good demo. Chillin' by the Fire, the sleeper hit. I played this with Max, also known as M Swizzle. Played it for like 20-25 minutes, and it was kind of fun, just kind of building the fire and chatting with your buddies. Fast Fusion, I think this is a really good $15 game. If you're into like F-Zero or any of that, it's a good one. Actually, it might be $10. I don't exactly remember. Ruffy and the Riverside. This is a Switch 1 game that has a little bit of a Switch 2 boost. It's a good 3D platformer. It's very nostalgic. Kind of reminds me of like Paper Mario and a mix of Banjo-Kazooie. It's okay, not bad. And I think that's it. We also had a Welcome Tour. I think I missed Welcome Tour, but I got Welcome Tour for $10. So those are all my games in 2025. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting me this year. That's allowed me to buy all these games and talk to you about them like I just did right now. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what your favorite game is of 2025 on the Switch or Switch 2. And I'll see you again next year. Maybe I'll do another update halfway through the year to see what we got going on. But thank you all for watching as always. I hope to see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. Okay, goodbye. But goodbye now.